Well, I'm mostly streaming Pokemon right now. Just because when it comes to putting it on YouTube, it's quite easy to do. So like, not sure how to say this. I'll do about 2 or maybe an hour and a half at a time on Pokemon. And when it comes to it, I export it to YouTube and split it into 15-minute segments. So once I've split it into those 15-minute segments, I'll have like 10 or so videos of Pokemon. And in the past 3 days, I think I've added about 30 or 40 videos to the channel. So it's good for filling out content. But I am streaming a few other things as well. I'm streaming Subnautica. So yeah, I was yeah, you're not wrong there. I've taken to streaming a bit more because there's less sort of, again, it means my videos are crap when they go onto YouTube. There's no sort of editing involved, and if I wanted to edit them, it would take ages because, like I said, like these Pokemon ones get split up into 15-minute segments, and that can be like, sometimes it can be 5 videos, sometimes it can be 10. I mean, it's not a big deal, but at the same time, going through and editing all those would be a pain in the arse. And some of the videos that I have edited and sorted out properly, they haven't received like many more views than some of the streaming videos that I've just put up. But what I have noticed is that I cannot edit the videos that well right now because the only thing I have is Movie Maker, and Movie Maker hasn't improved since it was made, and it really needs to improve. So I'm dealing with constant crashes. Well, actually that's all I'm dealing with, just it crashes whenever you click anything. Also it takes ages to get the video actually on there. And then there's the file sizes to deal with as well. This way I'm not having to put massive files on my computer, I'm just exporting from Twitch to YouTube over and over again, and there's no issue. But I like streaming a bit of Infinite Crisis as well. I don't know if you've played that. It's a MOBA with DC characters. So you get to play as Batman and the Flash and Superman and all that kind of stuff. Oops. I don't think anyone has ever been a fan of Movie Maker. I don't think it's possible to be a fan of Movie Maker. I've caught more Nidorans by accident than on purpose right now. So what else do you enjoy playing? Because you've mostly just talked about Pokemon. Oh, I've thrown too many rocks, it's gonna run. Oh, it's not gonna run. Now it's gonna run. No, it's not gonna run still. And it ran. I've still not played Borderlands. I wasn't able to play because obviously, you know, when it first came out it cost quite a bit, but there was also like so much hype around it. And I just, games with that much hype, I just can't play them. But for all intents and purposes, I still think it's a good game. I've seen it played and it looks fun, but it's when someone's constantly like, I had a friend base which were just constantly harassing me to play it, and when that's happening, I just think you're more likely to not want to play it. But yeah, I'm a PC gamer as well. It's hard to say what I play. A lot of MOBAs, a lot of League of Legends. Actually, recently playing more Heroes of the Storm. But I do other emulation as well. I do Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 1. Also Sega. Forgot about Sega. Yeah, my PC's not too great either. It can't handle amazing things, but it can handle Battlefield 4 now. It has been able to handle a good amount of things since I put a new graphics card in it. I think every time I'm going in there, I'm catching just a lot of Pokemon by accident. Are you using AMD or Nvidia? Because my friend just picked up one of the 4GB Sapphires. There's nothing wrong with AMD. AMD is going to be taking over, well, not taking over Nvidia, but they're going to be doing a lot better. Plus they have like a virtual SSD service now, which is, actually, well, they've had it for a while. Which is, you know, when I found out about it, I thought that was pretty amazing. Instead of buying an SSD, you can pay, I think it's a subscription, to have, actually no, you pay for like a certain amount of space, like cloud space. But that cloud space you own is basically an SSD. So you could install some of your favourite games, or like the games which really need speed, like Battlefield 4, you could install that on an SSD if you wanted. Yeah, the laptop will be a problem with your performance. I don't think you'll be able to, you probably won't be able to get a new graphics card for that either. You'd be better off building a PC from scratch. You can do it at the cost of a new laptop, really. Mid-range gaming PC like mine, you're talking about £500–600, and mine's at that level where if I put a few more things in, it'll be a top level gaming PC. Because I have a 6-core processor, and I think it's a 2GB graphics card. It's been a while since I've checked. But yeah, if you're going to get a graphics card, get one of the newer ones. Make sure it's new as well. I made the mistake of, when I first made my PC, I made lots of mistakes. Like, I bought really cheap old parts, and they worked. Except when you played games like Far Cry 3 and the screen went black. And the second most important thing to get is a decent power supply. Because I got a 750 watt power supply for about 20 quid, and while that was really good as like in terms of price, I was playing Battlefield 4 once and I just heard this massive bang and my PC shut down. Well, I can give you some tips. You basically need... Sorry, the chassis is distracting me. PCs just consist of like a few different parts, and people say, oh, I don't know how to build a PC, and it is literally just, you know, putting it together. That's the only part that's gonna scare people sometimes. But first off, you'll want a case, a motherboard, a processor, and a graphics card. Then you'll want a hard drive and a power supply. It's a lot to take in, and I'm not really going slow enough for you right now. But I could do a video at some point about it, if that would help, or I could direct you to some. I'll give you some advice. And if you're having trouble, I'd be happy to help. But gaming PCs, like, you know, when I built mine, I'd never built one before. I'd seen the inside of a PC, didn't know what any of it was, but once you build it from like the ground up, you sort of just understand. And after having one for a while, you kind of just learn what the problem is, how to troubleshoot it as well. So like, there are a number of things of like, when you're like, if your PC isn't starting up, you can check if anything's lighting up at all. Like, I had this problem a while ago with my power supply. The power supply wasn't actually supplying power to any of the board, the motherboard. It's just a big circuit board that your processor, your graphics card, your RAM, and your hard drive all get plugged into. That's why it's called the motherboard. Basically, your power supply gets plugged into that, and then it powers your processor, your RAM, your hard drive. It powers everything through the motherboard. So when nothing's working on your PC, you just sort of get a knack for figuring out what's wrong. And there was this one time where it wasn't starting up. None of the like lights were coming on. So I knew it was a power supply problem, and I got a new power supply, put it in, worked fine. But I've seen plenty of people make a PC from scratch, like on the cheap, and it's done okay for a little while, and you just upgrade bit by bit. One piece of advice I will give you